My beloved child, come closer for a moment. Not because you are weak, but because you have been strong for too long. I know the waiting has begun to hurt in places you don't talk about anymore. I know how silence can feel heavier than bad news. At least bad news feels like movement. You have been living inside questions without answers. Questions that echo late at night when the world finally grows quiet and you are left alone with your thoughts. You ask yourself, why is nothing changing? Why does it feel like my life is paused? Why does everyone else seem to move forward while I remain right here? I hear those questions, even the ones you don't say out loud. This delay feels personal to you. It feels unfair. It feels confusing. It feels exhausting. And sometimes it feels like abandonment. But listen to me now. Slowly, gently, clearly. This delay is not rejection. It is not punishment. It is not because you failed. It is not because I forgot you. This delay is protection. You see time passing and you think you are losing something. You watch opportunities come and go and you wonder if you missed your moment. You replay decisions. You revisit conversations. You imagine how things might have turned out if only timing had been different. And that replaying has worn you down. Waiting hurts because it forces you to sit still when everything inside you wants to move. Waiting hurts because it removes your sense of control. Waiting hurts because it makes you feel invisible. But still, you wake up, you keep going, you survive quietly. That quiet survival is not weakness. It is endurance. You think I don't understand the pain of delay, but I do. I see how waiting stretches your faith thin. I see how patience feels less like a virtue and more like a burden. I see how hope feels fragile when nothing seems to confirm it. I know how discouraging it is to do everything you know to do and still feel stuck. I know how hard it is to keep believing when nothing around you looks different. But hear this truth now. I am with you, not watching from a distance, not waiting for you to get it right, not measuring your patience. I am with you in the stillness, in the uncertainty, in the delay itself. And I have never left you. Not when you felt confident, not when you felt confused, not when you felt tired of believing. You are safe in my hands, even when your future feels unsafe to you. You keep asking for speed, but I am focused on safety. You keep asking for movement, but I am focused on stability. You keep asking for results, but I am focused on your heart. Because what I give you next must not crush you. It must not cost you your peace. It must not break what I have been healing. You don't yet see what this delay has been keeping you from. You only see what it has been keeping you from having. But there are things you were not meant to experience yet. Places you were not meant to enter yet. Responsibilities you were not meant to carry yet. Not because you are incapable, but because timing protects purpose. You think delay means denial, but often delay means refinement. I have been guarding you from rushing into things that would have drained your joy, from stepping into seasons that would have demanded strength you had not yet learned to carry gently. Some doors looked right. Some paths felt exciting. Some outcomes seemed perfect in your mind. But they would have required you to abandon parts of yourself you were meant to keep. And I will not trade your wholeness for your hurry. You feel pressure because you compare your timeline to others. You look at what they have achieved, what they have reached, what they seem to enjoy, and you wonder what is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. Different journeys require different pacing. Some paths need speed, others need depth. Yours needs depth. Because what is being prepared for you will not survive on excitement alone. It will require wisdom, discernment, emotional strength, clarity of heart. These are not built quickly. You are not being delayed because you are behind. You are being delayed because what is ahead of you is significant, and significant things require careful timing. Pause here. Let that truth settle. This delay is not working against you. It is working for you. You have been measuring time by what has not happened yet, by what you hoped would arrive sooner, by what you thought your life would look like by now. And every time you measure yourself that way, the waiting feels heavier. But time is not your enemy. It is not moving against you. It is moving with purpose. You see delay as emptiness, but I see it as formation. There are parts of you that could not have been shaped in motion. They needed stillness. They needed pause. They needed silence. Strength that lasts is not built in haste. It is built when you learn to stand without immediate reward. You are learning that now. You have noticed how different you feel from who you used to be. You question whether you've lost something, but you haven't lost yourself. You have outgrown old versions. You don't react the same way anymore. You don't rush the same way. You don't attach yourself so quickly to things that once felt urgent. That is growth. Before, you would have forced doors open. Now you pause. Before, you would have chased approval. Now you protect your peace. Before, you would have accepted less just to feel chosen. Now you wait. This change did not come from comfort. It came from waiting. You think the delay has slowed you down, but it has actually stabilized you. What is being prepared for you cannot be built on instability. It requires a heart that knows how to stay grounded even when outcomes are uncertain. That is the heart you are developing. You have been learning how to sit with discomfort without letting it define you. You have been learning how to remain kind without becoming weak. You have been learning how to hope without demanding immediate proof. These lessons are not small. They are foundational. I did not pause your life to frustrate you. I paused it to protect you from rushing into versions of success that would have left you empty. There are successes that cost too much, and there are paths that look right but quietly destroy what matters most. I have been keeping you from those. You may not realize it now, but there were moments when things almost happened too soon. Almost. And almost would have been painful. You would have entered relationships before you understood your own worth. You would have taken opportunities before you understood your limits. You would have carried responsibilities that would have crushed your spirit. I did not stop you because you were unworthy. I stopped you because you were valuable. The delay is teaching you discernment. Not everything that feels good is good for you. Not everything that opens quickly is meant to last. You are learning to recognize the difference. You have noticed how much more aware you are now, how you sense things sooner, how you feel misalignment faster. That awareness did not come easily. It was shaped in waiting. You are no longer desperate for answers. You are becoming patient with process, and that patience will save you from unnecessary pain. You keep thinking you are being held back, but I am holding you together. I am keeping your heart intact while your future forms quietly ahead of you. You wonder if this season means you are forgotten, but I am closer to you now than you realize. I am with you when your motivation fades. I am with you when you feel overlooked. I am with you when the waiting feels unbearable. I have never left you, not for a moment. You are safe in my hands, even when nothing around you feels secure. Safety does not always feel like movement. Sometimes it feels like restraint. And restraint is not loss. It is wisdom in action. You don't need to rush this season away. It is doing important work. The life you are stepping into will require calm decision-making, clear boundaries, and emotional steadiness. These are not learned overnight. They are learned here. You are not being delayed because something is wrong. You are being delayed because something important is being built. Sit with that truth for a moment. Let the pressure ease. Let the comparison quiet down. Let your breath slow. There is a reason your future needs the version of you that is being formed right now. Not the rushed version. Not the anxious version. Not the one who would have settled too quickly just to escape the discomfort of waiting. The life ahead of you requires steadiness. It requires discernment. It requires a heart that can hold responsibility without losing softness. That is why this season matters. What is coming will not simply test your skills, it will test your character. It will ask you to lead with clarity instead of impulse, to respond with wisdom instead of reaction, to stay grounded even when pressure increases. These qualities cannot be rushed into existence. They are built slowly, through patience, through restraint, through learning to trust when outcomes are not immediate. You used to believe that speed meant progress, that movement meant success, that waiting meant falling behind. But now you are learning that not all progress is visible. Some progress happens inwardly, where no one applauds and no one notices. Yet this inner progress will determine how well you handle what comes next. You have been learning how to pause without panicking, how to breathe without needing reassurance every moment, how to sit with uncertainty without letting it consume you. These are signs of maturity, not delay. Your future will involve choices that demand emotional stability. Moments where rushing would cost you deeply. Situations where discernment will protect your peace. If those moments had arrived earlier, they would have overwhelmed you. Now you are being prepared to stand steady within them. You are learning how to say no without guilt, how to wait without resentment, how to hope without desperation. These lessons will guard your future more than you realize. There were times you thought losing momentum meant losing direction, but direction has never left you. It has only been clarified. What once felt urgent no longer controls you. What once demanded your energy no longer owns your attention. This clarity is not accidental. You are becoming someone who can hold blessings without being consumed by them. Someone who can carry responsibility without losing joy. Someone who can walk forward without abandoning peace. That kind of strength is not built in motion. It is built here, in the waiting. You are not being shaped for a moment of excitement. You are being shaped for a season of sustainability. Quick success fades. Lasting fulfillment remains. What you are being prepared for is meant to last. You may not feel ready, but readiness does not always feel like confidence. Sometimes readiness feels like humility, like caution, like awareness. Those feelings do not mean fear. They mean wisdom. You are no longer chasing outcomes. You are learning alignment. And alignment protects you from building something that looks good but feels wrong. This delay is protecting your heart from environments that would have drained it, from commitments that would have demanded too much, from expectations you were not meant to carry. I am not withholding from you. I am preserving you. You are becoming someone who will not lose themselves when life becomes busy, who will not abandon their values when pressure increases, who will not forget what matters when success arrives. That version of you is essential. So when waiting feels unbearable, remember this. Your future needs you steady, not hurried. Whole, not worn down. Prepared, not pressured. And that is what this season is creating. There will come a day when this season no longer feels confusing. Not because it stopped being difficult, but because you finally see what it gave you. Understanding often comes after endurance. Clarity often arrives after patience has done its work. Right now, you are too close to the process to see the shape of what is forming. But I see it clearly. You worry that time is slipping away, that opportunities are fading, that doors are closing one by one. But some doors must close so better ones can open without distraction. If everything stayed open, you would never know where to walk. This narrowing is not loss, it is direction. You are learning to rest without guilt, to pause without shame, to exist without constantly proving your worth. That freedom will protect you later when life becomes louder. There are things ahead that will require you to trust yourself, to stand firm in decisions, to move forward without needing permission. The confidence for that is being built right now, quietly, steadily, honestly. You have been tempted to rush this season away, to force answers, to make something happen just to feel movement again. But forcing outcomes often creates consequences you are not ready to carry. I am not asking you to stop desiring change. I am asking you to stop doubting my timing. The delay feels heavy because you care deeply, because your heart is invested, because you are ready for something new. That readiness is not ignored. It is being refined. You will not wait forever. This pause is not permanent. This season has an end, but its purpose matters. What you receive next will feel different than what you once wanted. It will not feel rushed. It will not feel fragile. It will not feel like something you have to fight to keep. It will arrive with peace. When it comes, you will not need to convince yourself it is right. You will not need to silence your intuition. You will not need to abandon your boundaries. It will fit. And you will look back on this waiting season with gratitude instead of resentment. Not because it was easy, but because it protected you from versions of life that would have cost you deeply. So for now, rest your heart. You do not need to figure everything out tonight. You do not need to fix your future today. You do not need to carry tomorrow's weight. I am with you. I have never left you. You are safe in my hands, even here, especially here. Sit with that truth for a moment. Let the urgency soften. Let the pressure release. This delay is not against you. It is guarding what matters most.